Okay.
All right, let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Chris, will you do the honors?
Absolutely. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I guess I should turn this on. All right. Roll call, please.
Troy Anderson.
Present.
Patrick Bean. Dwayne Bebo.
Present.
John Fairchild.
Here.
Christopher Gadway.
Here.
Patty LaFleur. Here. Ed Marin.
Here.
Richard Sears.
Here.
David Trudeau.
Here.
And Ozzy Comer.
All right. Approval of the agenda. Resolved that the interim superintendent of schools recommends to the Board of Education to approve the agenda. Motion, please.
Motion.
Okay, Dwayne.
I'll second.
Okay, Chris. Any discussion, question? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Presentations, 2024-2025 budget.
Well, since our budget hearing, or our budget workshop, nothing's changed because the state is prolonging their budget, as I'm sure you've all read. So, no numbers have changed since.
Okay.
that time. 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
What
that's-
I would like to do, Mr. Besson and I talked about it, we'd like to give it until the 18th, April 18th, when we meet again, to see if they come up with a budget proposal. Because if they do come up with a budget proposal and we do get our foundation aid restored to what it should be, we're looking at about $200,000. And if they approve the $250,000 capital outlay, I could increase that, my $100,000 to the $250,000 and put my textbook money back in that we had to cut in order.
Yeah.
So if you are okay with waiting, that's what I think would be beneficial for everybody if we could. If nothing happens between now and the 18th, the numbers I gave you on our budget hearing, or our budget meeting, will not change.
Okay.
Then we have to go forward because that is our last
Yeah,
date
that is
that
our
we
last.
can approve it. So what we're looking for is time. If if the legislator does their jobs, we'll be in a better position under the one-house budget if some of the rumors that we're hearing come true. If not, we're no worse off than we were 2 weeks ago, and we can pass that budget and we'll be fine. But we think waiting gives us an advantage versus a disadvantage right now.
Right.
So
Are you confident, Jen, or hopefully?
I think
We're hopeful.
I think we'll get something. I don't know what it'll look like, because they do usually come out with and give you at least a little bit more money. I don't know for sure. I know.
All right.
So as long as you guys are okay with that, but if nothing happens between now and then, we'll go with status quo. Everything will remain the same from what I presented.
April 18th it is. Reports.
Oh,
What?
we got one more.
is there,
Yeah, the capital,
do you want me to do that under my discussions, or just do it now? My reports.
It's up to you guys. You two are next. So,
Go ahead.
no, you go ahead with the,
We want to have an operations committee meeting
before the 18th.
before the 18th. So Chelsea, I'm going to ask you to, I can't remember what, I know Rick is on it. Chris, I think you are on it. And who's the third? Can't remember.
Padraic, maybe?
Is it Padrea?
It used to be Jen, but whoever took her place when she left.
So I'd like to have a meeting to go over our construction management services. We had 2 bids come in, one from C&S companies and the other from Schoolhouse. So I'd like to go over that in that meeting, go over the 2 proposals, and come up with a unanimous decision as to who we're going to go with. I'd also like to go over just an overview of where we're at with the playground. We've been meeting with the playground committee from the elementary all along, but give the operations committee meeting, or operations committee team an update on everything that's going on, and go from there. So,
It's Dwayne, Chris, and Rick.
okay.
Are we doing anything when they do the town hall thing here on the 16th? As a board, do we have anything that day?
Yes.
I will introduce everybody.
We do? All right, so.
Well, no,
Either have to be the
because
15th or 17th.
after the town hall meeting, you guys will be going and you'll be meeting with Dr. Davy over all the data that we receive from it.
All right, so do we have anything scheduled for the 17th, the next day? No?
Not that I know
Let me check my.
As of now, no.
of. No.
So you good the 17th? Dwayne?
Okay.
What time works best for everybody?
What time?
I know Dwayne, it's 5:30 works.
5 o'clock.
Okay.
Good?
At 5 o'clock? Yep.
Yeah.
Good? Okay.
I'll send something out.
Yeah. And anybody is welcome to come to that meeting too. It is an open meeting, so as long as you're not too important.
Right. You don't want a quorum. You okay?
Okay.
All right, so, Mr. Best, you're up then.
Yep, so, as we discussed, we're moving ahead with the building project. We're getting ready to send out our budget newsletter. We're working on that to get some of this information, like our capital project, the budget, tax levy, as well as some good news items about the district out to all the community members. Just now came from the library where Dr. Davy and Julie are working with, I think it's the right group, that is, or the gray group is in there right now. And they're doing a great job working on their questions. They're gonna be great, very good questions. They're gonna give you some great feedback. On Thursday, we'll be back at this again. Thursday evening, we have the right group who'll be working with Dr. Davy and getting ready for their questions. Chelsea and I, we worked on a blurb that went out to the community. It went on Parent Square, our media, Facebook, and the other sources, just to let them know that the final candidates and who they are. There's been a lot of talk in the community. We wanted to squelch that, just get out real names, real people, which we were told to hold off until the day after. Yesterday, I was up in the area and came up on Sunday. Traffic was pretty incredible on the Northway a day in advance. And then just to see how things might have been if we went to Cumberland Head, we took a ride over to Cumberland Head City Beach at about 11. It was not good. So we kept moving. I'm glad we made the call that we made because Cumberland Head was a disaster and getting off Cumberland Head was ugly until about, into the evening. So, the Northway was an utter disaster. So, I think we made a good call working with the association and moving 18th to the 8th. So it was a win for everybody. And I hope, you all did have the opportunity to see that thing. It's like going to the Grand Canyon, hole in the ground, don't want to go there. You get there on the brim and you're like, wow. Well, same thing yesterday. The pictures that they show don't do it justice. So hope everyone enjoyed it. So that's it for my report.
That was fantastic. Thank you. It was a good call, yeah. And Jen, nothing to add, just checking. Okay. And building principals.
What we got?
They're probably busy with the,
One's in the room, and I believe.
anybody
What are you
wanna,
doing, Mrs.?
Who do we have?
anybody wanna stand up and just make up stuff for
No,
somebody?
no, she's got the BES report.
Sure.
Yeah, so the two elementary reports. are
All
here.
right, go ahead. Have at it.
I can only speak on behalf of our own building.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's all we do.
We'll make up stuff and we'll tell them that you said it later, don't worry.
Okay. Thank you all. Janice Crew, reporting on behalf of Beekmantown Elementary School, and only Beekmantown Elementary School. Mrs. Barkle could not be here this evening, so I do have something to read on our behalf. Today was our first day back. The students were very excited to be back at school after the break. Before the break, the BES students participated in the Spring Fling on March 22nd. Students were treated to a magic show, learned some Taekwondo, enjoyed the bounce house, learned Zumba, and even got to play Gaga ball. Is anyone familiar with Gaga ball? That's your Google homework assignment.
Okay.
The day ended with Irish dance. Special shout out to the faculty and staff who helped organize and provide this special day to our kids. Thank you as well to Candace Jock for her diligence with this and creating the schedule for 500 children. She's phenomenal. Our Thursday, March 14th, the Eagle Pride Assembly was a huge success, recognized students for their perseverance. Earlier in the month, I had the privilege of observing Mrs. Muller's and Mrs. close pre-K4 classrooms and just happen to hear 4-year-olds talking about perseverance, we certainly are doing something right. Mrs. Poe and Mrs. Knight and the BES Student Council have been really busy. Students spent a great deal of time raising money for Vermont Children's Hospital to include a bake sale at the spring flight. Overall, BES raised $1,703.44. We're so proud and grateful to the community for their support of this endeavor. The kids have earned 5 rewards based on how much the school raised. So we will be having, in this particular order, a school-wide dance party, a movie day, a duct tape wall for a couple of our very brave teachers, and Mrs. Barcombe will be kissing a donkey. I did not volunteer. It is not all fun and games, however. We do have the state test coming up next week. I'd like to take this opportunity to wish the students good luck on their exams and thank the staff for their hard work that goes into preparing for students.
Thank you very much. That's
I
great.
have a quick question. Nothing to do with this. Mrs. Barcombe last month mentioned about donations. You guys were opening a closet for like clothing. And where is all that stuff brought? Right to the office?
So I think location is actually still being worked out right now. Part of that is because we want to have it in a secure place, but still accessible. So that has actually been a topic of conversation. I don't believe we've started physically collecting items yet. That will be pretty difficult without a dedicated space to it.
So I can't donate 4 bags of clothes right now?
I
coming
appreciate
days.
your thought and thinking of us, but I'm going to politely decline and get back to you.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, we're sharing on behalf of Darcy at Vermont Head this evening. I'm Casey Provost. We wrapped up our spring break. The students and staff were definitely appreciative of the extra day to watch the eclipse. Thank you to the superintendent, the association, and the board for making that happen. Our 3 through 5 students and teachers have been busy preparing for the New York State ELA test. The test will be held at Cumberland Head on April 17th and 18th. We encourage our students to try their absolute best, but we also recognize that one test isn't truly representative of the whole child. Our student council wrapped up their Coins for Canines fundraiser. They raised $892, with all the proceeds benefiting the Elmore SPCA. We're very proud of our student council and thankful for the community support. Today, a team of Cumberland Head teachers and staff embarked on leadership training for implementing restorative justice practices K-12, sponsored by the New York State Education Department. The training consists of 7 2-hour live Zoom sessions with opportunity for breakout rooms to discuss material with educators around the state. The training is designed to help us refine restorative practice systems. Lastly, 2nd grade has an exciting presentation coming up. The Adirondack Experience Museum on Blue Mountain Lake will be presenting a bees and pollination program to all 2nd grade classes on Friday, April 12th. The exhibit will be brought to Cumberland Head. Thank you to the 2nd grade team for arranging this hands-on programming opportunity.
Thank you. Good timing.
Yes, so. Good evening, everyone. The winner of the BMS March Madness Attendance Challenge was Mrs. Danville's 8th grade homeroom. Yay. We averaged a 95.3% attendance rate for the month of March. This is a 3.5% increase from the month of February, and we even got hit hard with that flu at the beginning of March, so we were able to recover and finish strong for the month of March. So this month's attendance challenge is for every day the students achieve a 90% attendance rate, they will get to throw a pie in the principal's face.
Ooh.
So if anyone else wants to volunteer for that, Mrs. Manchester.
Throw the pie or to receive it?
Throw the pie. I will be receiving the pie. So I'm sure my son will be turning in lots of talent tickets to get that opportunity. Anyway, moving on. The drumming club members facilitated a performance workshop for the Ross's Point Elementary students right before break. Our Beekmantown students instructed them on dancing and singing. Our BMS faculty and students are preparing for the New York State assessments. I'm sure you've heard about them. They will take place over the next 4 weeks. And we are working hard to repeat our stellar performance from last year. A middle school team made up of teachers, administrators, and counselors attended the first session of an 8-week restorative practices leadership training. Our goal as a team is to foster a positive culture by implementing practices that promote healthy relationships and positive discipline in our school building. And that is our update. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I just share something with the board and the audience here? The 3.5% doesn't sound like a huge number. Flip it around, it's a 41% decrease in absence rate. So it's huge. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's a good point.
Hot in the face, so bring in even more.
All right.
Yeah. We got, that's on its way. Ozzy or Yusef?
Yeah, so I was going to say, because of the break, it was pretty hard to meet with students. I was able to meet with the middle school students before break, but it was like a week after my last meeting with them. So I sadly don't have like a very official report done for 3 of the 4 districts, and the high school. I will say, middle schoolers, when I did meet with them, they were very focused on the state testing coming up. And balancing everything, but so far they seem, at least when I talk to them, who knows, halfway through the state test it might be a bit more of a freak out, but they seem pretty ready to balance their extracurriculars, their activities, their lives with the state testing, and hopefully still do pretty well on it. For the high school, it's just been focusing on pretty much the start of the new sports seasons with the end of the other ones, like the winter sports seasons. Track, there's like 110 kids on our team, so many of those kids have been excited to participate, and a lot of our sports teams are seeing kind of like huge peaks in numbers, which has been really cool to see. There's not many students who aren't a part of a sports team right now that I really am able to talk to, so at least on like the people that I talk to, they've been really excited for that. And mostly excited for the AP test that's coming up. Kids are pretty glad that we have an extensive amount of AP tests that are offered at our school, and whether it's 10th graders taking the AP World or our 11th and 12th graders taking like 3, like they're all pretty excited and they feel pretty prepared because it's well supported, and they appreciate that a lot, and they wanted me to let you guys know that. So other than that, I don't have that much to report.
That's good. Thank you very much.
I got a question for you.
I do too.
Is there a story behind that sweatshirt?
The switch, I went to Arizona.
Okay, so that's not where you're going?
It's probably
Emeryville?
I think.
Yeah,
I don't
nice
know.
school.
Now, there's also the one in Florida.
Yeah, I'm from out west. I'm from southern Utah, so
Okay.
the Arizona campus was very. It seemed like the right decision, and it was really good. I'm probably going to go there.
Yeah,
It's a bit-
can't go wrong with one of the two.
And the question I have for you from the student perspective, what are your takes on the eclipse?
Oh my gosh, that was so cool. I got together with like 10 other kids, and we like just the day before prepared, because I live in Cumberland Head, so the traffic was really bad. But like, I know on Snapchat, like everybody, like I saw over 50 stories from like kids in our school just posting about how cool the eclipse was. So I think we're all just glad that we were like lucky enough to be in that epicenter. Like we had like 3 minutes of it, which like barely anybody gets. So a lot of people were really excited. It's all people could talk about today.
Thank you.
Excellent, thanks. Mr. Brazat?
Good evening, everybody. Updates for the high school. We have a pre-ACT school day coming up where our students can participate in the ACT. It's for all of our 10th graders, which is a nice opportunity for students to have access to that exam here right on campus for all of our sophomore students. So that's coming up. I want to thank Ms. Dennis, one of our counselors, for setting that up for our students and our campus. Once again, a great opportunity for those kids who experience a high-stakes exam right here on campus where they don't have to do it anywhere else, where they're comfortable, get an understanding of that exam. So that's a great opportunity. I want to talk about our partners at CFES. They've been creating some awareness opportunities during our ELT. That's the other half of our lunch period. They're presenting virtual tours and campus visits. They went to Stony Brook, UConn, LSU, giving our kids a little bit different perspective on some of those campuses during their lunchtime and free time to help them kind of see a different vision of different campuses around, the country. So really cool opportunities. April 30th, they're going to visit North Country Community College Explore Day. So they're going to have an opportunity to see a bunch of different types of colleges there. The real goal and opportunity that our CFES provides is those opportunities. And this year it's really forced during those opportunities to have students get kind of boots on the ground with those virtual tours. So it's a really cool idea, and they tie it to the last one's March Madness. So they tie, what type of jobs can you get out of March Madness? What are all the different ones you see on TV, but what are the ones behind the scenes? How do you, what are those develop? What are those careers that you can go into? So really spawning that idea and ownership for our kids to have those opportunities. So a huge thank you to them and our partner there. We also have Jamie Rock from the Child Advocacy Center coming in on April 22nd. She's going to address abusive relationships, healthy relationships, sexting, online predatory behavior, and just kind of bringing that into being a perspective for some of our students, on that side of it. So trying to educate all sides of our students, provide opportunities in the last month. So thank you. Any questions?
No, thank you very much. That was great. Anyone here for public comment? All right.
Go up or am I good here?
You're fine there.
I know this isn't the time for questions and answers, so I'm not looking for that, just awareness. I'm also a parent. My son plays lacrosse for Beekmantown, but we play for Plattsburgh. Just curious why the lacrosse team's not able to practice at our fields at Beekmantown from time to time, and why we're not able to have games here as well. The other schools that have students that don't go to PHS, like Ausable, they have 2 home games at Ausable. Peru has a home game as well. I just think it would be nice with the facility we have, probably the nicest out of all of the schools, if they could have a practice or 2 here, especially during preseason when the fields are muddy. The turf doesn't get exposed to that. And then also the opportunity for games.
I can answer that very easy. They can.
Okay.
But we were given a call like 5 minutes before they wanted to use the fields. They never filed for the insurance.
Okay.
So all they got to do is get the insurance in and then coordinate it with the athletic director, and that could all happen.
And like I said, I wasn't trying to.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
it was that's why. Because we did get a call and we wanted to do it, but they have never filed the insurance forms. But if they do it, we can.
I will follow up with them to make sure that even if it can't happen this year, at least they know what steps they need
Right.
for next year.
But yeah, Justin.
We were told, Mr. Beeble, too, from our turf company,
Yeah.
that would void our warranty or anything, any help that they would give us on our turf if we play lacrosse on that surface. So I went down to Plattsburgh State. Plattsburgh State dealt with that at the field house.
Yeah.
And if you look at where the goals were and where they were doing their drills, they actually had to cut their turf out and replace it, and it doesn't look the same. It's not the same height. It's not the same. I think normal just passing of the balls, those kind of things is feasible. I don't believe Plattsburgh either allows their lacrosse team. Do they play?
They are practicing on it now.
So that's.
So Ausable, they play on their turf.
Yeah, their turf is shot, so they have to replace it.
Yeah,
That's-
Malone's is not. They're playing on their turf.
Yeah, that's
OFA, the SEMA. My understanding is that we achieve to go with.
You play football, why can't you play lacrosse?
And that helps eliminate that.
We have that.
It's like golfing on it. It's not good for it.
Lacrosse looks in the ground. Again,
Right.
that went back to Mr. Myers, and that was approached, and we were told that having lacrosse on our turf was not something that the turf company wanted. But again, it's not. The request did come in, and I actually talked to Ms. Parliament, Mr. Besson, it was actually on the weekend, and it was just before practice. They wanted-
Liability insurance. Do you know about the lacrosse?
I don't have anything in writing.
We could look into that.
Because I'm hearing a lot, not from just our school, but a lot of hearsay. So-and-so said that, so-and-so said.
Yes, and we also would need like nets and things like that. We don't have any of those.
No, they would provide that.
They would provide that.
Yeah, because they have to do that for the other schools.
All right,
Thank you.
good. All right. Anything else? Yep. Good? Anyone else? Okay. Minutes. Resolved that the interim superintendent of schools recommends to the Board of Education to approve the following minutes. Motion?
Motion.
Mike? Dave? Second? All in favor? Aye. Motion passes. Resolved that the interim superintendent of schools recommends to the Board of Education to approve the CSC, CPSC, and 504 recommendations dated 4/9/24. Motion?
Motion.
John. Second? Rick. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Personnel. Resolved that the interim superintendent of schools recommends to the Board of Education that the following resolutions on this consent agenda, resignation, appointments, FTE change, and retirement be and are hereby approved. Motion, please.
John.
John. Second?
Chris.
Chris. Discussion? Questions? Mark, on this one at all? Anything you want to add on the personnel section?
Yeah, it is. You know, we're still, just so you know, we are doing some training. I went over it with Jolie. We have a training for new employees as far as doing the TCIS. And but we schedule it, and then Jolie does do a brief overview of it as people come in. So just so you know, those things are happening. We also are looking at if there's a more involved TCIS training that needs to be done maybe over the summer or whatever for more involved situations. But when you hear that, you know, there were questions like, are these people trained? The answer is yes, they are. We're giving them an initial training, a brief one, and then within a week or so of their arrival, they get a more in-depth training as soon as we can schedule it. So they're getting it within 2 weeks usually, they're training on TCIS. So we're fully trained.
Okay.
So that was a question in the past.
Yes, it was. All right. Anything else? Anyone? All right. All in favor? Aye. Motion passes. Miscellaneous. Resolved that the interim superintendent of schools recommends to the Board of Education that the following resolutions on this consent agenda, MOA with BAA, vacation days be and are hereby approved. Motion, please.
Chris.
Chris? Second? Right. Any discussion on the,
Just, this was edits that needed to be done on the original negotiation that was done probably about a year ago. So it was just clarifying that the original draft contract came in with the old language and the new language. It just needed to be cleaned up. So Tony, Nick, myself, and Matt cleaned it up for what was negotiated along with Polly. And so what you have is the clean copy is what the MOA is, and in the next contract it should be incorporated.
housekeeping? Great. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Let's see, additional items to discuss. Nothing on here. Anybody else for public comments? Moving along. Resolved that the Board of Education appoint Dwayne Biebel for clerk pro tem today. I motioned that, so. Second, into second.
John.
John Fairchild?
Dwayne.
Yeah.
Too late.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So it's 7-1?
All right. Is he available yet?
I don't know, I just texted.
Okay.
Just go recess.
So you need a motion to go into executive session?
Well, what we're going to do is take a quick break, until we get feedback that he's ready
Okay.
to go in executive session, and then,
Yeah, because I need these guys around to set up his projector, because we're gonna need technology.
we do it here or do it in that other room?
I heard that screen doesn't work.
Oh, who broke it?
Distance learning screen does not work.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. All right, we'll just take a break until,
Did I miss what the executive session is for?
we'll do that when we vote. We haven't voted yet. But it's going to be, yes, good question. All right, take a break until further notice. We're gonna finish up the meeting. Well, you guys don't have to go anywhere. We're not gonna go to executive session.
Really? You guys can stay all night.
All right.
We're kicked out. Recess is over.
Yeah. Okay, so we are rescinding the clerk pro tem. This is not,
Gets it next time.
he gets it next time, he does. Negotiate.
So what was the cost, just for future reference?
All right, no executive session.
No executive session.
Okay, resolved that the Board of Education adjourn the meeting at 7:17. I need a motion first.
What?
We'll talk about it in a second.
Oh.
What's that? Dwayne.
We will, you know.
Second?
Mind reader?
Aye.
Okay, hold on. Go. Discussion, we were gonna go in executive session. Tony, busy with, just got out of another contract thing, so we're just gonna do it on the 18th, on that board meeting instead.
Right, so on the 18th, we vote on the BOCES budget, our budget, then we'll go to executive session and work on the new superintendent's contract.
So let me get this straight. We're good 15th, the 16th, and the 18th.
Correct.
Okay.
But,
Go
And
ahead.
the
Jo-
17th, for those of you,
Who are on operation.
but
We're
there's something
operation.
we have to do
15th, 16th,
tonight,
17th.
because the 18th is too late.
What's that?
The conversation about who's calling whom in relationship to references.
We can do that by email.
but that's with Mark Davies.
So, okay, I have
No,
a,
it's not really with Mark.
no, I have,
It's us to reach,
yeah, we were gonna do it, right. So, yeah, I have a CVS
and
meeting.
I don't know whether that's necessarily an executive session piece, but
It isn't. It isn't. So, if you recall, as part of the background of the checks, we're gonna start doing some calls to board members and other staff and that kind of stuff. I mean,
I don't think that should wait till after our next round of interviews.
no.
Because we might possibly be picking one Tuesday night.
Right. That does,
Right, so I really do, so.
you don't want to
all
all
right.
get it, yeah, no, whoa, wait a minute, there's something we didn't know about.
We might.
I'll reach out to
I
the
don't think it will
the
be.
president of each board. Do you guys have a particular interest in reaching out to anyone in particular at different boards or positions? Like a principal or,
I will, there's one superintendent who has a connection to two of the three candidates, and I have a relationship with that superintendent, so I don't mind calling Jerry and talking to him about the two people that he
Okay.
had in his building working for him.
okay, all right.
Does anyone have contacts in the 3 districts? You know, anyone have?
I don't have any,
No?
I don't have any contacts. I know the principal in NAC and the athletic director slash principal. I can reach out to Robbie Wickowitz in NAC.
Or maybe even coaches or principals
So
or
if I
assistant.
reach out to Robbie in the next day or two, you guys are fine with that?
Yeah,
Principal? Okay.
Actually, why don't you, just to keep it even, reach out to all 3 principals from 3 different districts.
I don't think that was going down that road.
Well, the one in Willsboro,
Or you could do that one. Right?
Because I have a report.
Okay, all right. Anyone else want to reach out to anybody?
Troy?
I mean,
Thank you for standing up.
Try to take one of the principals, I'll take the other one.
All right. So which one are you reaching out to?
NAC.
NAC. Which one do you want? Malone. Okay.
What does that leave for me?
So how do you want the info presented back to you? In an email to everybody?
No, we'll talk about executive session.
Okay.
Just take your own notes.
Well, you know, you all know that the Willsboro principal used to work here, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So
There's probably only
you
one
guys
principal
might
down there,
know.
right?
Huh?
It's
We only have
a
like
K-12 principal
Yeah, they got
who's
10
been there
kids,
for,
so-
this is her first year
Yeah,
in that
Mrs.,
building. But she and Justin have a working relationship from when they were both here. I believe they were here at the same time.
Okay.
Do you want to reach out to anybody in your, I mean, you worked.
Call the
you
buildings
worked
and
in-
grounds person.
I was just gonna say, you worked in school districts, I mean, you have an innate understanding of working in districts. Do you want to talk to buildings and grounds people or anything, or
Director of
mechanical,
facilities.
people?
Directors of facilities or business officials? Who works with the directors of facilities?
Because I'd want to make sure that all the candidates, and I would expect this to be true, but that they all treat
Yeah, exactly.
support staff with the same respect. And again, no, I know two of the three individuals very well. I don't think it's a concern, but you never know.
Right.
Who do you want to reach out to?
For the staff association
You're the one
president?
to call.
Troy's gonna reach out to the Willsboro principal, Miss Paquette, is that her name?
Yes.
Yeah, that's her name.
Yes. Facilities director or,
Or staff association.
And if anybody needs contact numbers, I think Mark could get those pretty
Yes.
easily. Not this Mark, the other Mark. Or
Let me Chelsea
Okay.
help you too.
Okay, so we can reach out to you for contact numbers?
Yeah. You probably get a quicker response
Yeah.
from the two.
you guys, anything? You guys know anybody you want to talk to?
I don't know anybody.
All right. Fair enough.
Thank you all.
So you
Thank
got-
you.
So you're talking to Sue?
I'm talking to the presidents of the boards.
I've got NAC's principal.
Right.
Principal.
And then you guys got the other two principals?
Yes.
And you're gonna talk to staff
Or-
association or
Or directors of facilities.
And anyone wanna talk to teachers association or?
I would hope the Teachers Association does that before their conversation.
Right, but you're,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm sure they are.
All right. So we're still at adjournment. All in favor? Aye. All right. Thank you.
Time on that.